before we jump on creating a dates table, or before we jump on creating the new model that I spoke about. So in this new model, we are going to bring in some dates table. So first you need to understand why is dates table important, okay? And why do we even need to bring in a dates table? So most of the times, your data set will have dates column, right? But there won't be any dedicated dates table as such, or a calendar table as such. So it is mandatory, or it's a requirement that we need to bring dates table so that we can make our calculations bit easier. And we can also show some trend analysis, some other analysis easily. So date table or calendar table is very much essential in Power BI. If you want to do any analysis over time, you don't want to rely on the date columns that are in the model. Rather, you have to create a separate date table or calendar table. Okay. So it's always better to have a date table created on your own, so that it helps you over the period of your development life cycle to do a lot of calculations and bring in a lot of KPIs easily. Okay. So the screenshot that you're looking at on the left side is a snapshot of a dates table that we are going to create now. Okay. So how are we going to create a dates table? There are multiple ways to create dates table. So we can also create dates table using DAX functions, that we are going to look into that in the DAX sessions. But here, since we are not started on the DAX sessions, here I am going to give you a solution which is built upon a code. That means you need not write any code. All you need to do is copy paste. Okay. So we're going to use something called M script or M code. You already understood, right? What is M code or M script? So we'll also talk about it a bit now. So in the Power Query editor sessions, in the stage 2, you have understood what is the advanced editor, what is the script that you are looking at there. Right? That is all called as M script. So we will be having a handy M script or a cheat sheet, right? So this M script, I've been carrying this M script since past 5 to 6 years, and I never remember even a line of code. Okay, I always have to carry this along with me in my emails or in my Google Drive, or wherever I work with like different clients or different companies have been fetching, right? So I have this dates table script handy. Most of the time I've used the same script so that it will help me create the dates table faster. So I'm going to share that M script with you all. You have to download that and just copy paste it. So let us jump in and start demonstrating that. Okay. So I'm going to create a new Power BX file. Okay. So we have a new data set here. I'm just going to create a new file, new Power BI desktop file. Okay. So for this demonstration, I'm going to bring in the new set of Excel data. Okay. I'm going to use an Excel workbook. Directly, I'm going to click on Excel workbook. And yeah, so I'm going to use the sales data set. Here I'm going having sales underscore data set. I'm just going to pull in that. As you see, we have 4 different tables. One is sales data, one is regions data, one is product data, one is customer data. There are 4 different tables. I'm going to get all of them into my Power Query editor. Okay. So if you look at each table, so there is a sales table. Majorly, this is a table that has got order number, order date, ship date, customer ID, channel, currency code, warehouse code, region ID, product ID, order quantity. Again, you see here, there's a metric, right? I'm going to turn this off, these tools. Okay. Order quantity, unit price, total unit cost, total revenue. So what do you understand by looking at these, metrics or these KPIs or these values? So this seems to be a fact table, right? Because it has got total revenue, total unit cost, unit price, quantity. So I can, identify it as a fact table. I can remove this sales, and it's for easier understanding. You can also type it as underscore fact table, right? But I'm not going to do that because we only have one fact table. And the others are it's all about regions, right? If you look at this, it's a suburb, So city, postcode again is a region information, longitude, latitude, full address. So all this is a regional information. So basically it's a dimension table. So I'm going to rename it to regions table. And if you look at this, it has also got as a primary key, which is the region ID. And also you can notice there is a sales table also has got region ID, right? And also there is a customer ID, right? And also there is a product ID. That means all these tables can be interlinked, right? It's the product ID you can see. And I can rename it to product table for simpler handling. Again, I will go back to the customers table. Just customers table. And already the data types and other things were taken care because already the structure was in a good format. And also you can see the change tab has been applied for all the tables. This is a customers table. So I'm good with these 4 tables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the 5th table, which is a dates table, because we don't have a dates table here. Like I've said, dates table is necessary to bring in and calculate a lot of other things easily in your report. So I'm going to get these dates tables. For that, I'm going to just open up a cheat sheet called mscript calendar table. If you can look at this is a simple mscript code. You need not worry about what is written here. All you need to do is Control C, go back to your Power Query editor, go to the home ribbon, click on new source, blank query. So we are going to open up this blank query, and this comes like this. What you have to do is you do not have to paste it here. You have to go on, click on advanced editor. Click on advanced editor. It will again open up a blank query that you have just brought in. Just select all that and delete this. Now you have empty space there. Now you have to do a Control V, paste it. Simply paste that copied script here. That's all you have to do. Once you have done this, click on done. And this will immediately ask you to enter some parameters. So if you remember, we have covered something in our Power Query editor sessions, like invoking the function and all. So this is how it is linked up. So the script that is written here, it is calling generating some parameters, it is expecting some parameters to be key in. So once I key in some parameters, automatically it is going to populate the data. So what I want to key in. So I wanted to get a dates table, right? So system is asking me, it cannot generate a dates table of like 100 years, right? Of course, it can create 100 years of data, but we don't want 100 years of data, right? We want some set of data, right? Like maybe 5 years or 2 years or 1 year. So how do we decide on that? So we need to be aware of what kind of data we have. If we look at our table, right? So we have a sales table where we have order date and ship date. So we know we have 2 dates here with which we can understand, okay, what are the dates that we have in our data set. So I can see my dates are starting from 1st January 2021. What is this very first date in this column? What is the very last date in this column? So there is an easier method to get that value. So you can just go to transform, click on this by selecting this order date and go to date. And when you click on earliest, it will show you the very first date. And when you click on the latest, it will show you the very last date in that specific column. Okay, this is your last date. Last date is basically December 12th, 2023. So I can pass on 31st December, like I'm just kind of adjusting to the nearby end date. So let me go to the query 1, and now I can pass the parameters. What is the first date? January 1st, right? January 1st, 2021. Select January 1st, 2021. What is the end date? I can select December 31st as my 2023. And there's also another parameter which is expected from this particular script. It asks you to enter what is the fiscal year start month. So basically, it depends upon where you are. In India, the fiscal year starts from April, right? 4. In US, it starts from 1 January, or in some places it starts from September, right? In Accenture, where I work, it starts from September. Okay. So basically, again, pass 4 as a parameter where like the value April. Okay. So once you enter all these details, all you need to do is click on this button, invoke. So it will populate the data based upon your inputs. Like I asked the system to generate the data between 2021 January 1st till 31st December. So we get each and every day. You look at this, each and every single date, we'll get it. Along with date column, we get year column, quarter of year, month of year, day of month, date, int, month name, month in calendar, like month and year together. So like that, we get a lot of information. You can see quarter and year, day of week name, week ending date. So to calculate all of this, you would require a lot of formulas to be written in DAX or in Power Query, but it is all not required. By having just one script, you can get all of them, and it will be very handy for you to use it in any of the area in your development of the reports. Okay. So what you can rename this is like you can rename this invoked function as a dates table. I'm going to rename this as a dates table. And what we can do is to organize in a better way. We can always select the tables that are used in the model and move to a new group, model. Okay. So all these queries are moved to another group, and there's other queries which are moved. You can keep it. It's a very good way of organizing things. Okay. Now select the dates table, and you can see this is how the dates table looks like. Okay. So we were able to finally create a dates table using M script. Okay. And I'm going to click on close and apply. So everybody knows what happens when we click on close and apply. And everybody knows by now, there is an option by default set in the settings, right? In the options under Power BI desktop. If you do not want this to be automatically detect the relationships, you can uncheck that. But I have not done that. Let me go back to the model and see what relationship has been formed. So I need to double check if the relationships have been taken care perfectly. Okay. So it seems like there's a join happened between these few tables because system detects that there's a customer ID and there's a customer ID. So it tries to join. You can see one too many, which is fine. And also you can see there's a product ID and the product is joined. Okay. And region ID and region ID is joined. If it was not joined automatically, I would have anyways working on the joining part. I would have understood the data. Anyways, I know there's a products table has got product ID and sales table has got product ID. I'm going to join these two, and automatically the cardinality will be set wherever the many side, the foreign key is in the sales table, which is a fact table. The many side is on the top. The one side is on the bottom, wherever is the unique key or primary key, right? And automatically the direction is set to single. Okay. So this is how we make the joins between these four tables. And now we are going to join this dates table.